Well, hello there. Welcome back to my channel. Hey, if you're new, I'm Rachel. I'm so glad you stumbled upon this video today. You're just on time. And listen, if you're a girly who likes to yap books, boy, do I have a page for you. Let's be book girls together. Let's read for enjoyment and also education. Listen, I love a good enemies to lovers, but I'm also here to deepen my perspective, you know? Because you can read all you want, but it's what you do with your reading that really counts. Contrary to popular belief, we can do both. We can giggle and kick our feet and also engage in impactful conversations about the words that we're reading on paper. Beautiful. Guess I don't need background music on this video. Enjoy that. I don't even know what I was saying about me and this page and our little community we've built here, but if any of it resonates with you, click the subscribe button, hit the bell. You never know what's coming next. I wouldn't want you to miss out on any of the fall reading vlogs because trust me, they're gonna be good. There's gonna be lots of them. Oh my god. What even song is that? What song is that? It's famous. Anyways, I'm so glad you joined me today. Any links you could possibly need or want or wish for are in the description below. Go hit follow in all the bookish spaces. My Bookstagram, my book talk, they're waiting for you. This is one of my most anticipated videos. I've been wanting to do this for so long. I just didn't really feel like I had the time or like the organization as far as content creation goes because I don't know if this video is going to be done in 2 days or 20. So I had to set aside enough time and enough mental capacity to be able to read until I find a 5-star, and that's what we're going to be doing today. And if I know my book girlies, there's more than one thing we're always in search of, some of which being a new cozy reading spot or a new cozy reading drink. But the main thing we're always in search of is our next 5-star read. Now, listen, I feel like it's gotten to the end of summer and I'm like, I've had like a couple 5-star reads, but it's just not been hitting the way I want it to hit, you know? So it's gonna hit in this video. Oh god. We're gonna find the books that hit. We're gonna do the thing. I have a great lineup scheduled for us here. I kind of have mixed emotions because I'm like, I want all these books to be 5 stars, but I also want to read more than one book in this video. So hoping that maybe there's like a 4.5 in here somewhere. So my friends, the moment you've been waiting for, okay, the lineup. But let me tell you, my current read is looking pretty promising, and that is Beach Read by Emily Henry. I did not expect to love this so immediately. I started this book and immediately was like drawn in. Like first chapter, I was like, I'm in it. I'm here. I'm sat. Let's talk. I don't know what it is. She put something in this book. It's so relatable. It's so conversational. Some of the descriptions, I'm like, I didn't think anybody else saw the world like this or like thought like this. I also just think it's hilariously funny in a really millennial way. Like the casual mention of Taylor Swift has me absolutely dead. And usually that annoys me, to be fair, but I just found it so funny. Taylor Swift has now solidified herself enough in history, I think, that it will always make sense regardless of time passing. It just works. I'm really, really enjoying it. The vibes are so good. The setting is so clear. The feelings are so intricate, so complex. I'm into it, okay? I'm sat, I'm ready, I'm living. And so we're gonna continue reading Beach Read and I'll give y'all the updates on this one. And then next up in my lineup, if this is not a 5-star read, is The Women by Kristen Hanna, okay? This one I have high hopes for. I'm so excited about it. Also, I know you girls of all people would appreciate this. Look how floppy it is. Girl. I can just picture this sat on my table and I'm just, you know? So this is next on our list if we get through Beach Read and it's decidedly not a 5-star, which I'm kind of secretly hoping it's not so that I can read The Women in this video. But regardless, we're gonna read until we find a 5-star read, okay? I love watching these videos, so I think I'm gonna love making this video and I hope you enjoy. If you've made it this far, which I really, really hope you have, please drop your latest 5-star read for me in the comments. I wanna know, maybe I'll take some recommendations for my next video like this. We'll see. All right, let's get into it. Let's read Beach Read and I'll update you when I update you. See you soon. Might I say, I also just love books about authors. I don't know what it is, y'all. It's not even just like the fact that they're authors, but just like the process and like how deep it is. Hearing it from an author perspective is just, I just love it. And I also love how different these two are, but how much it works. I think it's funny that she thinks he's grumpy. Like, I love that it's like he's considered the grumpy one in the narrative, but he's like not actually grumpy, like at all. Like she's just perceiving him to be grumpy because she's having a hard time. Just, I love their dynamic. It's friendly and bantery, but it's also like tender and kind. And the the way they're learning from each other and have set up this whole thing to learn from each other. It doesn't feel as cheesy as most fake dating or like setup dating sort of tropes feel in books. This one just feels so natural and so innocent as far as like the catalyst of their relationship goes. I adore it so far, so we're gonna continue. For context, I'm on page 125, so I'm almost a third of the way through the book, or I am. It says 33%, and I'm just really enjoying her, so I'll catch you in the next update once I get a little more reading done. This is embarrassing, but I had to document it. This is killing me. This is gonna be the death of me emotionally. I'm 54% of the way through now. I've just read the quote, you know that feeling when you're watching someone sleep and you feel overwhelmed with joy that they exist. I'm also obsessed. I cannot stop reading. I couldn't even stop while I was cooking. I was cooking my dinner and reading at the same time. Anyways, gonna go clean myself up. Oh, hey, my friends, update time. I have completed Beach Read, okay? She is done. Now, this was, beautiful. I don't even have words. I was kicking my feet. The banter's so good. I already talked about the language a bit in here, but it was just so comforting, cozy read. I will say it fell short of a 5-star just barely for me, just barely. It just didn't have that 5-star feeling, you know? And it was just so close. It was so close. But Happy Place, like, I just can't compare it to Happy Place. Happy Place really did it for me. However, Beach Read is definitely second on my Emily Henry list that I've read now. Here are my ratings if you're wondering what my Emily Henry rankings are. So I decided that Beach Read is sitting at 4.5 for me, or even like 4.7. Like, it was so good, y'all. It was so good. It did not disappoint, lived up to the hype. Thank God, because it had so much hype. There was some feminist critique in there, which I always appreciate. I just fell in love with the setting and just the quirkiness of each character and how it was just, you just had to suspend your disbelief enough that it worked. Like, if I had to suspend my disbelief even just a little bit more, I feel like it would not have worked. Just because a lot of it felt so, like, circumstantial and coincidental. Like, there were so many little details and I was like, this would never happen. The characters were so lovable. I also really enjoyed the fact that, like, it wasn't just, like, a bow on the end and, like, everything's perfect, everything's fine. To be fair, that epilogue did not need to happen. I feel like the book would have been better if there was no epilogue, and I almost always feel like that. Like, I think the epilogue just ruins it. Like, I really enjoyed the fact that, like, the end of the regular book, it was just kind of like, I don't want to say good enough, but like realistic in the way that not everything is guaranteed, life isn't guaranteed, good moments, relationships, all this stuff is like, it can be so fleeting, and like, we just don't know because we just can't see the future and like what the universe has laid out for us, you know? So I loved that fact. It was so grounded, it was so authentic and so real. I just really appreciated that fact, and just like how deeply they talked about writing and about stories and about how stories relate to life. Just the fact that they're both authors, I'm like, Emily Henry, you did your big one with this one. Like, just the insides of their brains and how they see the world. There's little just nuances in each one. He has this experience, but he still sees it this way, and oh my gosh, it was just beautiful. All this to say, if you have not read this book yet, what are you doing? You need to go read this book. I don't make the rules, and that is that. So, Beach Read is complete. It was not a 5-star, which means we march on, my divas. Which means we've started a new book, and I know I told you I was going to start The Women. I'm so sorry. I did not start The Women. However, it was because I only have The Women paperback and like it's kind of hefty and I was trying to read in bed last night. So I ended up starting Yours Truly by Abby Emnes, which is also a huge anticipated read for me and have heard wonderful things, and like it's a 5-star for like most people who read it. So I feel like this is promising. It's a little like cheesy right off the start, but like I'm not mad about it. I'm enjoying it. I'm so happy to be back in this world with these characters because I just adored Part of Your World. That was one of my 6-star reads in like my lifetime. Like, I loved that book. I've not read it in years, so I had to look up a little synopsis to get back on the same page here, but I did. That's that with this one. I'm about 50 pages in and really enjoying it. Yes, page 56, chapter 7. That means we're 16% of the way through this book, and I'm just gonna continue reading. I'll update y'all when I update ya. Cheers. my friends. I'm excited to announce I've officially finished Yours Truly. We're done. It's complete. And I'm so excited to talk to you about this book. Guys, this was the most tender, raw, beautiful continuation of this series for me. For context, I have read Part of Your World. I have not read the other one yet, but I will be prioritizing that moving forward because this series just has me in a choke hold. These characters are so lovable, so believable, so down to earth. And mind you, there are so many characters, okay? So many characters, so many complex relationships, family dynamics, and it's just all portrayed so well. I feel like normally in books when there's like this many characters and this many like different relationships and siblings and friends and parents and all of that fun stuff, I feel like I get confused quite often because they're just not fully fleshed out. No, these characters, all there. I understood exactly what everybody was feeling in every moment, and I feel like I could like fight for each different character. It felt like the book was not biased towards like the main characters, you know? Like I was like, yeah, don't love her, but like get it. Like I get why she is the way that she is. Now just quickly, if you don't know, my friends, this book is about Brianna and Jacob. They're both doctors in the ER, and they both have very traumatic pasts. His ex is marrying his brother, and her ex left her for one of her very best friends. So there's baggage, okay? And I feel like we just acknowledge that from the start. It's not like the author's pretending these people are perfect or flawless human beings, but these facts about them are also not the driving force behind all of their character. They're not defined by them, which I really appreciated. So they kind of meet in this really messy, beautiful, funny, meet cute sort of way, except it's not cute because she's like going off on him naturally. And we sort of get this fake, it reminded me of Beach Read when we get this sort of like fake, he's grumpy sort of vibe. Like neither of the men in either of these stories are actually grumpy men or shitty men. It's just like miscommunication and meeting people at bad times, that sort of thing. So that was kind of funny. There were a few points where I was like mixing up the details of each book because I just read them back to back. But all of that to say, it's a romance. The first book in this interconnected series, we learned about Alexis and Daniel, who are now pregnant and married and living happily ever after, if you will. And then Brianna, Alexis's best friend, is like not having the best time. Jacob has very severe anxiety. Brianna is obviously very traumatized from her whole situation with her ex-husband Nick. Their divorce is just now being finalized. It's very fresh. It's still like an open wound on her side. You get the gist. They meet, they fake date because what else would they do? The rest is history. You're gonna have to read it to find out. Would highly recommend reading it to find out. Now, on to my thoughts. I already talked a bit about the characters, the relationships, but specifically with Brianna and Jacob, you guys, the attention to detail, like to be loved is to be known times a gajillion. Like they just pay such close attention to each other, work to understand each other's differences and maybe the less desirable qualities about each other, which I feel like I can't even say that because they just love every single bit of each other. Their mutual agreement in this book and kind of slogan is like they want to be harmless to each other because the world has already harmed them quite enough, if you will. I have never felt more like two characters were meant to be than this book. I feel like reading the two of them and just how they care for each other, make space for each other, learn each other, live to please each other. They just want each other to be happy by all means in every sense of the word. And it is just so admirable, so beautiful, so tender, so wonderful. Now, the anxiety representation in this book, masterfully done. Like I was reading it and I was so interested in the way Jacob's brain works and learning about how this level of anxiety can affect someone in their daily life, like minute by minute, hour by hour. I think it was just so eye-opening. I wish everybody who doesn't have anxiety would read this book and like really listen to the way that Jacob's brain works because we got all of it, okay? It was grounded, it was an in-depth portrayal, and I feel like books often just kind of like one-off mention, oh, it's because of his anxiety, oh, he's just anxious, oh, he has anxiety. But like this was like, no, let's actually infuse that into the character because this is actually a real thing that people deal with on the daily. And I thought it was brilliant. And then reading the afterword by Abby Jimenez, it was beautiful to read that she really struggles with anxiety. She also had kidney disease, like all of these little details that are in this book and like very real life important topics to talk about are all rooted in her real experience. And so all of her takes are really grounded and you can tell the book just oozes tender, raw, grounded, authentic, real. And I think that's beautiful. And then the whole Brianna's past and her struggle to trust people after what she's been through and her view of men and her view of the world, as readers we know is so biased. But again, it's told in a way that we understand why she is the way that she is. And again, that comes from personal experience. And I just think that is just, couldn't ask for more, couldn't ask for better. And I think that's why this book hits the way that it hits. It is so grounded in real life and yet still dreamy and wonderful wonderful and whimsical, if you will. A large part of the whimsy comes from just those real raw moments with each other. A quick note on the tropes in this book. So funny. I love when a romance comes up with a one bed. Like, somehow there's a one bed trope in a romance. I love it. I eat it up with a spoon. I feel like in fantasy it's always so justified. It's like, okay, yeah, there's literally no other option. But this, sorry, like, this is so funny. I loved it. And that whole moment with them, I'm not gonna spoil, but if you've read it, when that happens, that trope, and I hate to call it a trope because it is like a plot point, you know, but that just deepens their relationship so much, I think, and it's just a beautiful moment between the two of them. Now, can we speak on the name of this book? The full circle moment at the end of this, when she is, you know, reading the thing. Oh, I gasped. I love when authors like wrap in little details that we remember from like the beginning of the book, or little offhanded comments about something that a character likes or wants or whatever, and then it's like, it shows up at the end of the book. Beautiful. Like, I love that we didn't like harp on it. We like mentioned it once, and like it was memorable enough that by the end we were like, and it hits, you know? That's exactly what happened in this book, and the namesake of this book, perfect. Normally I'm like, either names of books just don't matter, like Beach Read, you know, that just doesn't do much for me. It's not super like clever or anything. The name of this book, y'all, yours truly did its big one, okay? I loved it. I would read it again any day, anytime. When I say I want more from my romance books, I want that in my romance books. So I am very proud to announce we have found our 5-star read. And even the epilogue did not piss me off. Like, that also just felt so grounded, and I felt like I wanted that information, and it added to the story. It wasn't just like, oh, they lived happily ever after, yay. It was meaningful, which I really loved. So I just feel like I deep dived into like someone's brain and an entire relationship. Like, as I was reading it, I was like, I feel like I shouldn't be listening to this. I feel like I'm invading their privacy. These fictional characters. So anyways, I've yapped enough. That is all I'm gonna say for this video. Thank you so much for coming along with me today. I hope you enjoyed. I do hope you'll join the fam, subscribe real quick for more bookish videos. You know you want to. And I can't wait to see you in the next one. It's gonna be an exciting one. I'll see ya then. Bye, y'all.